Hello, and welcome to my dining room. This is episode 39A of the Live and Learn Knitting Podcast, another in-between episode. We'll try something new today. We'll see if this works. So it's early Saturday morning. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and I have some tea here. This is turmeric, ginger, honey, lemon. There's a lot of things in here, and it's very good. A bit of a spring allergy kind of voice today. So this is much needed because I'm just waking up, sort of. We'll do a little brief knitting talk, and then I am going to try to go outside. I learned that I can pause the video. So I don't know if I can't flip back and forth. I can pause and show you something and then move on. And it's not too jarring, so we'll try it. We'll see. First, here's some knitting update chat. The Lusk Tee that I've been working on, I finished that little bit of the ball that was the least matchy color, working that all into the body of this. Now it's curling because of being on this needle, but so this is the front where it doesn't look as bad on that, and I hope you're seeing this because I can't see what you're seeing. It doesn't look as bad, that disruption, as it does on the back here, wherever that solid section was. But I'm out of that color, so I said to myself, as soon as I was out of that, I was going to stop and put the collar on, and then I want to work at least some of each sleeve opening, and then do a try on. I might try it on before I pick up around the sleeve edge. Gracie's here, George is here. They're all wanting to go outside and get some air. So anyway, so yeah, I might try it on before that, and that is my goal today. I have one more round to do on the neck edge and then cast off. And it was getting really late last night, and I just didn't want to do that in the dark when I was tired. Yeah, I was worried about it being too tense, so I was relaxed, yes, because I was tired, but I just didn't want to go, okay, I'm going to finish this before I go to bed. You tense up a bit. So I'll do it today, I hope, maybe this afternoon. I think it's going to warm up a bit more than it was yesterday, so afternoon time might be a good time to take a break and do some knitting. So that's where the Lusk Tee is at. It always looks more polished and finished, like it's really something now with this, the neck ribbing on. And that was really easy to pick up. It was a cast on, not a provisional cast, so it was because you cast on straight and knit straight back and forth on the neck or on the back piece. But it was fine to pick up into that cast on. You can't even see it there on the back. And I did the directions said to do a 2 for 3, which I only did on the side edges of the neck. If I had, like where I cast on across the bottom of the neck front or the back of the neck where it was, I just did 1 for 1. And I think it came out fine. I haven't tried it over my head yet, but it feels, it looks plenty stretchy and not too shallow or, not too wide, not too close. We'll see. I'm hoping it's just right. So this is the only knitting content today. I'm going to take you outside and show you a few things in the yard that are blooming now. And the birds are singing. It's really a nice morning. So we'll see how that goes. Good luck, huh? The plan for today, one of the plans, there are many, is to take, all these houseplants that are behind me, this weeping fig and some of the other ones, not my little amaryllis. He's happy blooming away right now. So I think I'll keep him until he fades. But yeah, take everything else outside. I took a couple out yesterday. I'm trying to find some homes in the shade for them and give them all a good drink of water. And it's going to be warm enough at night now that they won't be shocked in the evening and overnight. And they'll be a lot happier outside. And then I'll have that table down there cleared off, and I can put the table loom that you saw in the other in-betweener episode on there, hopefully, and get a project on there for the summer. That's the plan. Okay, another sip of tea. I wonder if I'd be able, I can take this with, because I can put it down in the pauses. I'm in my gardening clothes today. So, yeah, all ready to go. We'll see how this goes. It's an experiment. I hope it goes well. So I'm going to walk around, pause. Pause and not stop. If I stop, I have to start all over. See you soon. Okay, this is one of the things I'd like to show you. I worked on this yesterday. This is my little raised bed. It's right by my back door. Sort of a kitchen garden. You can hear all the lovely bird sound this morning. They are going, yeah, it's their time of day. Anyway, this is a little square box planter that I got at Aldi many years ago. And this year, I'll show you this, is a tower that I got ages and ages ago. And when I was wrapping it with the string, I thought, oh, it's the maypole. So my plan for this little bed this year is there are cucumbers planted, seeds around the maypole this year, and hopefully they will grow up the trellis. And then in each corner is a collard, and then at each midsection there are broccoli, and there's actually one extra broccoli in the pack, so I have 5 instead of 4. And then I always have to mix flowers in with my veggies, so there are some pansies and some ageratum and some snapdragons in this bed. And along the outside edge there's some marigolds. This lovely green thing is New England aster that happily moved here by itself. About 20 feet away, there's the first one that I ever planted. So they are thriving, finally. Took them a few years to get established. And then a few more petunias, marigolds, verbena around the edge. And that's this little, oh, and then over here at the edge, there are 2 cherry Sweet 100 tomato plants, and I bought really small plants this year. I'm just cheap and cheerful for me this year. So 2 cherry tomatoes, and they have these on because the squirrels will dig in anything where the dirt has been disturbed. They were digging in the garden bed here. That's why this, and these are old wire shelving units, pieces. I put those up around the bed, and these are on temporarily just to keep the squirrels out, because they were in here yesterday. They dug up both tomato plants. I had to repot them. So that's this little section. Back soon. Okay, I'm squatting down now, so this is going to be brief. This is my other little section of veggies for now. More tomato plants. There are 9 tomato plants here. 4 are celebrity. 4 are cherry. Large, it said large cherry. Yes, and then 1 of the Sweet 100s. So, also in this bed you can kind of see there are some rudbeckia coming up. And there was a great big one over in this corner last year. And, you know, they're biennial. So some of the seeds have moved around, and even though I don't have the great big plant this year, I have more smaller plants, which is good. And I'll just show you real close up. Also, a few little sunflower seeds, you know, that fell from the bird feeder that will be hopefully making some nice sunflowers in here. And lots of violets, pretty violets right around the edge of the plants too. I'm a sucker for violets because, you know, they were my first flower as a kid, picking violets every May. So I can't dig them up. They just have to, everything has to coexist in my yard. Back soon. Okay, one more shot of veggies. These are my potatoes in buckets and pails. And I'll take the top off this one. You can see this one's already up over the top of its container, and there are just a few little flowers almost ready to open. So that one's doing good. Again, the covers to keep the squirrels out because, yep, they dug these up as well. So this is the second year I've got potatoes in buckets. It was an experiment last year and it really worked well. So I have these three. I'm going to plant at least one more, and then I have some other over in a container bed that I have. All right, onward. I just want to show you this section of the backyard. I'm not sure, I can zoom out a little. Here are some beautiful trillium that are blooming, and this is wild ginger, and here's some more right down here, which has a very nondescript brown flower. I'm not sure. If I find some, I will show you. Okay, here's one. This is the flower of a wild ginger. Look at that. So it just does this. And I believe you can, you know, for ginger, you can harvest the root. I have not tried it. I should try it. So, trilliums. Behind there is a bleeding heart, some fern, more trillium, some Virginia bluebells, more ginger. This is just a really pretty spot right now. I'll find some, here's another, there's a nice Virginia bluebell, which is very pale. Mine are, yeah, paler for some reason. Oh, here's George. Happy to be outside and getting some air. But he's pretty skittish. He doesn't stay out very long. And if something spooks him, he runs right back home, back in the house. Right now he's at a bird bath that's broken, sadly. But there was water in it the other day, and there were actually birds having a drink out of it, I noticed. Okay, I'm gonna move over and find some Jack in the Pulpit. Here is a clump of Jack in the Pulpit that I noticed yesterday that just opening now, and sorry this is shaky, but you can just see there's the inside of the flower, so beautiful. And this clump, it's a new one in the yard, I believe. I mean, they're just going where they want to go and doing what they want to do. So very happy to see them here. And this is in my backyard, and I stopped, little by little, stopped mowing over the years. So there's a lot of ground cover, and actually a lot of this, like this is the beginning of jewelweed, which can get 3 to 4 feet tall. So this gets quite overgrown later in the summer unless I do something about it. And I don't always do something about it. But today we are enjoying Jack and his beauty. Onward. I just want to show you this for a second. The foliage, or the flowers, sadly are done. This is bloodroot, and it bloomed a couple weeks ago, and they have beautiful white flowers, short-lived, and they're very delicate, you know, and the petals will just drop very fast. But look what it leaves behind, this beautiful foliage. I love those leaves. They're very, to me, very Art Nouveau leaves. And this is a huge patch. I can't even really zoom out far enough to show you. I'll pan a little bit to show you. It's just spreading, and it's almost spreading as if it were an invasive, but it's a native, and it's lovely. It's a good spread. And there are a few violets in there. I am not sure what this is. I'm gonna have to do an ID on this. It might be, it's something that gets a white flower later in summer. And that's spreading now too. And it's taller. I'll have to look that one up for you. We'll revisit this area later on in the summer, perhaps. All right, 1 or 2 more things. My planting goals for today are to get more of the flowers planted. That's mostly what I have to put in the ground, annuals. I have a lot of perennials. This is a nice clump of Canada goldenrod that gets quite tall. And this is a good spot for it. It's right next to the driveway and by the corner of the garage. So it can live there. I'm fine with it there. And it looks well managed, which is nice. But yeah, I planted this little pot yesterday. I found this on the curb, I think last year or the year before. Somebody was getting rid of it. And I thought, well, that's a planter pot. And I mean, it doesn't look like much now. Those plants just went in yesterday. They're getting their wits about them. But I have more of that to do, and I'm trying to plant by the phases of the moon a tiny bit. So the moon is waxing right now. It'll be full on Monday. And it says on Monday you shouldn't plant anything. That, it's not the time. And then as it starts waning, you start planting the root crops, which I don't have any of this year. So I really need to work on the rest of the veggies that are going in and the annuals. And then yes, Monday I will do trimming and weeding and that kind of thing and see where we go from there. So, all right, another pause. This is where George likes to hang out. He's got back there by the shepherd's hook, he's got catnip patch that he tends. And so he hangs out here. And I usually put begonias in this urn, and it usually is out in the front yard, but I pulled it out this far out of the garage, and I think it might just stay here this year. So I kind of like the look of it. All this that's behind all this grassiness, these are garlic chives. And I started growing these when I lived at home, and they were growing everywhere, and I didn't intentionally bring them up here, but I dug up wildflowers, purple coneflower and blazing star, and brought that up, and some of the garlic chives came along. And sadly, the coneflowers and blazing star did not survive, but the chives just took off. And so they're clumpy everywhere. And they're in the grass. When I do mow the lawn and I mow these chives, I really just want to eat a cheeseburger because it smells so much like onion and garlic out here. It's amazing. So they get a pretty white flower on at the end of summer, and it's a good late pollinator flower for the bees after a lot of other things are done. So even though I wish they weren't here, I tolerate them. And, this may look like a lot. They're everywhere. There's a lot more. Anyway, a couple more things. This is a beautiful clump of dark colored iris. They're shorter than most of the iris that I usually have, but beautiful, vibrant, dark purple. So very pretty, and nice patch of them. I'm happy. They seem to be well established. My mom used to love iris, and we were always, every year digging up iris and dividing and replanting. And I wish I tended them better. I wish I tended them as well as she did. So it's another project to work on. Here comes Gracie Wee. Yeah, happy to be outside, aren't you? Okay, and she's off. All right, just one last shot, and you can hear Jenny Wren up in the smoke tree because Rusty's in the backyard in the ground. That's my orange cat. George is out here in the front yard, so Jenny Wren is not happy. So she'll quiet down as soon as we all go in the house and leave her to her yard. But these are some lilacs that are blooming right now, and this bush is sort of close to the house, but it's nice to have them here. The smell is beautiful coming in the kitchen window, and they're looking really good. And I was trying to take a bit of video. It doesn't look good, for you guys, but underneath, where I can walk underneath this, to me it almost looks like wisteria hanging down, because they sort of droop down from up above. So this will be the end of our garden tour. I hope you enjoyed this short little in-betweener episode, and I will see you all, well, hopefully the next time we speak I'll have more progress on the Lusk Tee. I would love to say it will be finished by then. I'm working on it fairly monogamously, and that is just not my style. And I think this is also the first fine gauge sweater that I've knit. So that is also taking a while. And I always wanted to knit a fine gauge sweater, but I'll have to think about it again before I do my next one and plan a little better. So take care, everyone. It was good chatting with you this morning. Again, I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into the yard. More to come as other flowers show themselves. Have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine wherever you are. Bring your own sunshine. Be well. Be creative. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.